You are all familiar with Paramus of the 90s, the retail crossroads of the world. Today we're going to show you how these familiar scenes looked when Paramus first came into existence. Come, look back and enjoy what Paramus looked like in the early 20s.
Long before Paramus became a borough, this territory was known as New Barbados. In 1871, part of this large parcel of land became Midland Township. The need for additional schools created a dispute in Midland Township in 1922. The township was divided into Paramus in the north and Rochelle Park in the south, making Paramus the fourth largest town in Bergen County. The division was at the old Hudson River trolley line, which is today Plaza Way. What kind of a town was it then? If you stand on the cloverleaf of routes 4 and 17 today, you are confronted with a multitude of malls and retail stores. What did our grandparents see? At that time, Paramus was solely a farming community with very few buildings and roads. Sprout Brook, running north and south, divided the town in two and created very different farming conditions on each side of town. On the west side there was muck, ideal for raising celery. Paramus had become the celery capital of the world. On the east side of the brook there was mostly upland farming, consisting mainly of corn, tomatoes, and cabbage. Today people have a wide choice of places to shop for food, ranging from neighborhood delis to giant supermarkets. In the early days, there were only two stores to choose from: Schaefer's Meat Market on the east side of town and Van's Cash Market on the west side. People could also buy food from roadside stands. In 1997, one of the biggest reasons for out-of-towners to come to Paramus is its malls. However, back in 1922, hunting was a major attraction. Paramus was also an important medical center at this time. Around 1920, an epidemic hit this area. In response, the county built an isolation hospital on the north end of Farview and Ridgewood Avenues at the site of the present-day Bergen Pines complex. Construction of the hospital began in 1922. The first building had 30 beds and took only 3 weeks to build. Within 10 short years, the county had built a separate building for each major contagious disease. A series of tunnels used for the passage of staff and equipment connected these buildings. There was even an airborne ambulance. Located on this same county property was the Bergen County Alms or Poorhouse, which housed all the county welfare. It also contained a jail for prisoners before Hackensack had a prison. Paramus had a number of cemeteries, both public and private, many of which can be seen to this day. Mount St. Andrews, the Almshouse, and Bergen Pines all had potter's fields. In the 20s, while there was no television or playgrounds, the people of Paramus found many ways to amuse themselves. At about the time Paramus was separated from Rochelle Park, an amusement park was built on the old trolley line along Paramus Road. It included a convention hall and rides for everyone. The park was destroyed by fire within a few years. There were also beaches for people to enjoy, and boating was available on the Saddle River. The Arcola Mill, built by Mortimer Easton, was also quite an attraction in those days, with its 16 acres of formal gardens, fountains, and ponds. This estate was used to film early movies. The mill still stands today. A popular gathering place for the farmers of those days was the Grange. Fairs and cooperative buying events, which everyone attended, were held there. We even had a local airport, which went bankrupt in 1930 during the Depression. Community leaders of Paramus, then as now, worked hard at projects to benefit the local citizens, but perhaps their approach to photo ops was a little more informal then. However, these farmers laid the foundations for many of the services that we take for granted 75 years later. In 1922, when Paramus became a borough, there were 3 one-room schoolhouses, though only 2 of them were being used at the time. One was on Midland Avenue. This building is presently the oldest continually used building in Paramus and is currently the Charles E. Reed Branch Library. The other school was on Spring Valley Road. It was sold in 1924. In 1924, the borough built 2 4-room schools, one on Midland Avenue and the other on Fairview Avenue. Then, as now, school children looked forward to field trips. This one was to the exciting new Bergen Pines Hospital. These 2 schools served the town until the 1950s. When Paramus became a borough, there were 4 volunteer fire departments in town, and the same 4 still exist. The oldest, established in 1904, was the Spring Valley Fire Station. At about this same time, Barney Martin became our first police chief. He was on duty 24 hours a day, and his office was on the front porch of his house. Transportation in Paramus in the 20s presented us with very different challenges than the traffic we encounter today. In the 1920s, trolleys were the preferred means of public transportation. They ran from Patterson to the Hudson River through what is now Plaza Way. They also transported Paramus children to Hackensack High School. The trolleys were a great help in bringing folks out to the country, Paramus, or bringing them into more settled urban areas, Hackensack and Patterson. The automobile was really just coming on the scene. Farming, hunting, trolleys, one-room schoolhouses, an amusement park, and an airport. Gone today, except in pictures and remembrances, they all made a contribution to our Paramus history. It is fascinating to look at some of the differences between the Paramus of today and the Paramus of 75 years ago. But it is important to remember the one great thing they have in common. Now, as then, Paramus is a good place to work, to live, and to grow.